Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is directed by Gil Kenan and it stars Mckenna Grace and Paul Rudd. And in the fifth but sort of fourth installment in the Ghostbusters franchise, an ancient artifact that holds an ice demon is unleashed. The Ghostbusters must answer the call to save the world once again from a new ice age. Now, I'm a big Ghostbusters fan. I love Ghostbusters, they're a lot of fun, for the most part. And I like the majority of the films. Of course I love the first one. I've always thought 2 was kind of underrated, even though it's never as good as 1. Whatever I'm going to say about this film, I'm going to get a load of hate, but I hate the 2016 reboot / remake. It's terrible. Yes, the only reason I hate it is because I hate women. It's not because the story's bad or the editing or the effects look awful. No, it's because I hate women, that's all. But Afterlife, I thought was a lot of fun. I really liked that one. So I was very excited to see what they'd do with Frozen Empire. The trailers were fun enough, they sold me, I was like, yeah, I'm ready, let's get into it. And after watching Frozen Empire, I can pretty much it's on the same level as quality as Afterlife. Fun and entertaining, and a good Ghostbusters film, but nothing great really. I would describe Frozen Empire as a over-bloated, entertaining mess. That's my way to describe it. The reason is because this movie has way too many plot lines, like way too many. There's like 5 different plot lines, 1 main one and like 4 subplots, and some of them don't really intertwine into the main plot at all, really. The thing is, I like some of the ideas here. I really like a plot line where we give ghosts emotions now and motivations, and it asks the question, what's it like to be a ghost? What's on the other side? How do these ghosts feel about being it? I thought that was really interesting, and I feel the plot line about that was really cool as well. It's just a shame that it was bogged down by some other stuff in this film. But the characters are still likeable, and they still have some arcs, even though there's way too many characters. I've always liked Phoebe, she was a great character in the first film, and even though she kind of gets the same arc as she did in Afterlife in this film, I still thought she was a great character, and I love following her journey. But as I said, there's just way too much going on here. Like, there's a whole subplot with Slimer, he's back in this film. I love Slimer, he's my favourite ghost in the franchise. But his little mini plot line with Trevor did absolutely nothing to advance the story. It was there for some comedic moments, which were fun enough. I've always thought Slimer was very funny, so they were entertaining, but they didn't do anything for the story, and that was really disappointing. And some other characters are just shoved in there just because, well, they were in the last film. Like Lucky, she was not in this film much at all. When she was, she did absolutely nothing. She had one cool moment where she failed, and it's in the trailer. That is all she did. And the original Ghostbusters aren't really doing much apart from Ray. Ray is very good in this film. He does quite a bit. He's like the mentor kind of guy. I really liked him. But characters, especially Venkman. Venkman was hardly in this film at all. And you could tell Bill Murray was just not in the mood for this film at all, really. But despite the messy plot and the overload of characters, I was still having a fun time. It does take a bit of time to get going this film. You don't really see many ghost busting shenanigans or anything like that for a while, apart from the opening scene. But it's still fun. You like the characters, you like seeing them interact. They're funny, there's some good jokes there. They introduce some really good moments with the story, some good emotional moments. It's a fun time, even though it's a mess. On a technical level, the film's just solid. The direction and cinematography is nothing special. You could tell it's a bit of a downgrade from Afterlife. The director of that film is just a co-writer on this film, and we get a new guy in. And I'm not saying the film's badly directed, but just doesn't have that flair that Afterlife did, unfortunately. The editing was sort of messy at times. It's very clear that there were reshoots, especially with the final act and part of the second act. And the editors didn't really do a good job of hiding those reshoots at all, really. I noticed so many continuity errors. But you just have to make do with it, really. Overall, the editing was fine for the most part. And the CGI looked good for the most part. The ghosts always look good in this film. There was a few shotty moments, but you can expect that with a big blockbuster. They always overwork these artists nowadays, don't they? But for the most part, I thought the CGI visually, the film was fine. It was just fine. And finally, the performances in this film were all really good. Paul Rudd was an instant favourite in Afterlife. I loved his character. He was so fun, so funny. And he brings that energy into Frozen Empire as well. Mckenna Grace, I'm excited to see what she does in the future. She's a young actress, and she's proven herself to be fantastic. She's great in this film. I honestly can't wait to see her in more stuff in the future. And everyone else, I think, did a pretty good job as well. Even though you can tell a couple of actors just didn't really want to be there, especially Bill Murray, but he's still fine for what he does. He still brings that little bit of heart to the character of Venkman that was in the original film, so he's good. So overall, I enjoyed Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. It's not my favourite in the series. It's a little tiny bit of a downgrade from Afterlife, but it's kind of still on the same level as quality. The plot's messy, but it has a lot of good ideas and a lot of good moments. Some good ghost moments, some good storylines, some good ideas and moments. But unfortunately, the plot's just a bit too messy and over bloated that it just fails to be very consistent. But it's entertaining. You see some ghost busting, you like the characters. It's just a fun time, man. If you're a fan of the franchise, I think you'll be very happy with this installment. I certainly was. My whole theatre seems to be having a good time with this one as well. So, if you just want a fun time with Ghostbusters, I think Frozen Empire, sorry. I get confused with those two. I think Frozen Empire will be a good movie for you. So I'm going to give Ghostbusters Frozen Empire a 6.5 out of 10. Guys, that's it for the end of this review. I hope you all enjoyed. Sorry this one was a bit late. I've had to do some things. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have seen Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Have a good day. And see you later.